Hi guys, today's video is about ActiveCampaign. I'm going to show you how to integrate it with WordPress using mail opt-in. So first we'll hover over mail opt-in and we'll click on integrations. Now ActiveCampaign is the first tab on the left, it's already open. And on the right, we have a few fields to enter our API information. To get yours, you'll need to go to the developer tab inside of ActiveCampaign, go to settings, then developer, copy your API details and go back to WordPress and paste it in the provided fields. Once you're done, save your changes and you can go ahead and test out your connection by creating a new opt-in. So go to opt-in campaigns, then click on the add new button, then go ahead and name your opt-in. I'm going to call mine ActiveCampaign just to keep it simple. Next, choose a template. I'm just going to use the first one. That will open up the opt-in builder. Over here, we have our preview. On the left, we have our settings. So for example, we have a design tab here where we can adjust our opt-in width. We can also go ahead and add a display effect to our opt-in. For example, here's a bounce effect. We can make changes to our colors and also add custom CSS. So you can play around with the design of your opt-in here. Let's move on to our next item. We have the headline, which we can also access from the preview. The same goes for the other elements. But back to the headline, we can go ahead and hide it by toggling this switch. And right below this, you can go ahead and edit the text and customize the colors and font settings. Now moving on, if you want to, you can go ahead and customize your description as well. The same goes for the note, which we can see in the preview below the button. And next, we have the settings for our fields, which you can access here. And the first option lets you hide the fields and use custom HTML. You'd add the code in the field below. You can also choose to display only a call to action button by toggling this one. And you can customize that button by using the options provided here. Now let's go back to our regular fields. You can click on any field to view its customization options. So you can just go through them to make your changes. The email field is quite similar, except it's required by default. So there's no way to hide it or anything. If you want to add a custom field, simply click on add custom field. And the first step is to give it a name. So in my case, I'm just going to call mine something like job title, and I'll keep the type as text. And I'll change the color to match the existing fields. So that'll be black, and we'll use the same font. All right, so that was just a quick example of the form configuration. And if we move down, we'll see options to customize the button. So you can edit the label. You can change the button's color as well as the background color. I'll quickly make this red to match our opt-in's color. And if you want to, you can always go ahead and customize your font and add a URL. Okay, so once we're done with this, we can move on to the next tab, which is configuration. There's an option to hide the close button, and there's also one to close the overlay on click. And below this, we have an option for a sound effect. We have our cookie duration options, and the next one is enabled by default, but this one lets you remove mail opt-in's branding. You can turn it off if you want to keep the branding, especially if you want to set your affiliate link. Now, if we go back, we'll move on to integrations, and here we can decide to keep our leads inside of mail opt-in only by toggling this switch. In our case, we'll click on new integration and we'll select ActiveCampaign from the list. Next, we're going to go ahead and select our email list, and that's from ActiveCampaign. I'm also going to go ahead and add a tag. I'll keep it simple and call it pop-up. And now we can move on to map custom fields. And I've already created a job field inside of ActiveCampaign. So I'm just going to go ahead and map this job field to our job title field from mail opt-in. Once you're done, click on save and we can move on. So the next menu item here is after conversion, and this is basically what happens after a lead has been converted. So you can go ahead and choose your success action. By default, it's a success message. And there's also an autoresponder that you can go ahead and configure. And once we're done with this, we can move on to our next tab, which is display rules. And there we have options such as page targeting, we have user targeting, as well as device targeting. But in our case, I'm just going to go ahead and configure a trigger for our pop-up, which would be exit intent. So basically, when someone tries to leave the page, our pop-up will be displayed. After saving our changes, we'll turn on the opt-in with this toggle switch and click on the X to go back. And once we're back in our campaigns dashboard, we'll open our website in a new tab. So I'll just quickly switch to that tab and open the website. Now let's pretend that we want to leave this page and we'll see what happens. So here it is. This is our pop-up. I'm just going to go ahead and quickly enter my information in this opt-in. And once that's done, we'll click on subscribe now. So here's our success message. Now in ActiveCampaign, we'll click on the contacts icon and we'll see our lead on the first line. If we click on it, we'll see all of the information that we entered in the form. All right, so this is how you integrate ActiveCampaign with WordPress using mail opt-in. And you can also go ahead and check out Mail Opt-in's automation features. There's post notifications, which basically sends notifications to your leads when a post is published. And there's also the post email digest feature, which is basically a roundup of your latest posts. So I've left links in the description to videos on both features. So go ahead and check it out. Thanks for watching and see you next time.